Hey, what's up? It's Deanna, and tonight I wanted to show you an antique 1860 photo album with tintype photos inside. I really love collecting these old photo albums. Now, sadly, this one is missing actually half of the book. Half of the book is gone to history. We don't know where it went. Actually, the seller sold it to me as is with the missing photos. Now, one thing about collecting antique photos that I notice that really breaks my heart is there are a lot of antique pickers out there. Now, if you're a picker, I'm not putting you down or anything because I'm a picker as well. But a lot of antique pickers without like a major knowledge of these photo albums actually disassemble these photo albums and sell each photo individually to make more money. So a lot of times if you'll have an album say with 30, 40, 50 photos in it, more, maybe a little less, what a picker will do or an antique dealer will do is take the photos out of the book and sell them individually to make more money as opposed to just selling the whole entire book together. Now, sometimes they can get $3 to $5 a photo and say there's 30 photos in there. But if they just sold the book together, it would be a greater thing for history because what they're doing is they're actually taking apart a family that's been in a book for 100, 120, 150 years, and they're actually separating a family. To me, that's a sacrilege. Now, a lot of people don't feel bad when they do things like that because it's all about making a buck or two. But for me, if I was to sell my albums and I would get less money for them than selling, say, each photo individually, I would eat the loss because to me, that is a sin. That is doing something really bad. You're taking apart, like imagine, say, you have a family photo album and one day you pass away, all your family members pass away, and you were in that album with your family, your life was recorded in that album, and somebody came along and said, let me make a few dollars off of these photos, took all you and your family's photos out of that album and sold them separately, and they disappeared and went off into somebody's home. Like one picture would go with one family, another person would find it in an antique shop and take another photo from it. You're doing a disservice to history. Please, if you're watching this video and you found, say, an old photo album at a flea market, a thrift store, and you want to sell it on eBay, please don't take the photos out and do that. To me, that there's nothing more in this world that can enrage me and send me from 0 to 60 in a rage of anger than you doing something like that. So enough of that, enough of my public service announcement. Let me show you the photos in this album and let's get started. So now the cool thing about this, now a lot of times you won't see the names of the people in the albums, and it's really it's not as fun. So when you find an album and all the photos in the album are identified, that is a great thing. That is like a feat that antique photo collectors are all trying to achieve. And so here we have an inscription in this old book, and it says Samuel Myers album 1860. So this gentleman was kind enough to date this album for us. Otherwise we'd be playing the guess the photo game, and we'd be sitting here trying to figure out how old the pictures were, about approximately when they were taken, where they were taken. Well, this helps because he also wrote, now I think that says Deersville, Harrison County, Ohio. So now we have a Ohio connection here with the people in this album. Now, sadly, I am not going to take these photos out of the album right now to check, because this book, as you can see, look how threadbare it is, how worn. Sadly, we're not going to find that information out right now. Maybe at a later date, if I get the courage to take these photos out of the sleeves, we find names, we'll do some research all together. Now, the coolest thing ever is you open this book and this is what you see on the first page, pressed between the pages. And it's a lock of somebody's hair, somebody deceased's hair. So somebody had taken it upon themselves to take a loved one's hair when they passed away and place it as a memory in this book. That alone is precious. Now, we're missing, again, I told you we're missing half the book, so we're going to be missing some photos from whatever's in here. So the first two photos that we see in this album are tintypes. And I'm going to show you something really neat. So gem tintypes they are. Gem tintypes are miniature tintypes. They're about the size of a postage stamp, roughly about 1 inch by 1 inch. They're very small. Now, a lot of times a gem tintype was one of your earliest photos after the daguerreotype. I believe I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. And the ambrotype these came like right around like after that time frame. I believe about 1858 or so. So this is going to help us to also date the people that are in this book, although it is notated that it's 1860. Now, another way you can tell an 1860s photo, especially a gem tintype, is they were placed in these little sleeves. And when you see the stars going around that, that's generally telling me that this is around the Civil War time. They used to use patriotic motifs. So we have this old lady right here, and it's a tintype. We have what appears to be her husband. Now, a lot of these photos may be around the time of the Civil War or just before it, since we have our album that's dated 1860. Let me try to move the lamp over here so we get better lighting. So we have this gentleman right here. I'm trying to get a good zoom in on him to show you. Now look at these. This book is completely falling apart. It's so sad. Now, this is pretty cool. So what we see here in this book right now, do you see the fabric in here? The little black pieces of fabric? That's telling me this is mourning. You see anything to do with black signified mourning. So these people most likely were deceased just after these photos were taken. And the person that assembled this album, Mr. Myers, marked that these people were deceased by putting the little black pieces of cloth in there, which is really quite phenomenal. So we have this person's personality showing by the way he assembled this book. So this is a CDV photo. This is not a tintype. So this is a paper photograph. And it appears that we have the same lady on the right. I don't know if it actually is the same lady. I could be wrong. Maybe it's her mother. But they definitely look like they're related. Now, she may have been a widow in a certain stage of mourning, maybe a later stage of mourning. As you see, she's actually wearing a black bonnet and a black cape. So there's some kind of signification of mourning. Her husband may have died. And then she shortly probably died after. That's why we saw the black cloth in there. Now here's a tintype right here with tinted cheeks. Anytime you see a photo with tinted cheeks or tinted lips or anything tinted, you know that the person paid more money for that service. So generally, sometimes that tinting costs more money than the actual photograph. So that's another interesting little tidbit. I'm trying, actually, let me just move my lamp in a different spot. There we go. See that? And it looks like they colored her hair ribbon. She's wearing black. She may have been a widow as well. You see this gentleman with tinted cheeks as well. Let me try to, there we go. And again, this is like around the Civil War. See the cartouche going around the gem tintype? That's telling me these two have that time frame, the way they were assembled in this little sleeve. So we have more tintypes here. You have another lady that may be in mourning, a certain stage of mourning, maybe a lighter stage, since there's a white collar. And she has tinted cheeks as well. Now we see two young boys here with tinted cheeks. Look how beautiful the tinting was. And this is a tintype. Now this is a regular size tintype as opposed to the gem. So you can see the gem on the left and the regular tintype on the right. I'm trying to handle this book very carefully. So now we see a tintype on the left, and it shows a little boy. Let me try to get a better shot. And then we have a lady over here, very, very beautiful lady. Look how fancy her hair is. And these two photos appear to be from the 1870s. So this gentleman assembled the book in various decades. So now we have a gem tintype on the left from the 1860s and what appears to be a late 1860s regular tintype on the right. So we see her cheeks are tinted and her jewelry is tinted as well. And we see this young boy, he has tinted cheeks. It appears to be one of the boys that we just saw in the photo with his brother. So we have another gem tintype here. This appears to be the 1860s. I'm trying to get my light so you can see it. Very, very hard because a lot of times these photos darken over time. So that's pretty cool. We're missing a photo here, sadly. But you can see on the other side, it's going to be a gem tintype. And this is the back of it. So you can see how they affixed it to that little card that's made out of paper. So again, we have somebody that they're mourning. So somebody had passed away. You see, but signified by that little piece of cloth over there. Another gem tintype with tinted cheeks. And to the right, we have a actually a full-size tintype. It appears to be the 1870s. We're almost through with this book, sadly. I wish I could have had the other photos that came with it that went missing. I mean, that didn't come with it, that went missing. That would be awesome. So we have another gem tintype here, tinted cheeks, and the bow looks like it has a little rosette or something on it that was tinted by hand, which is always awesome to see. And then over here, we have a gem tintype. It looks Civil War. We have that gentleman with the beard and his wife. Pretty cool. And we have another person that's passed away, signified by this little piece of black cloth here, and two gem tintypes from the 1860s. You can see this one was hand tinted as well. And last but not least, now look at this book. It's really seen much better days. Last but not least, we got this 1860s gem tintype, and this is quite awesome. Tinted cheeks, and look at that guy's beard. I'm trying to get a better view of this. There we go. And that's it. That's our book. And I was glad to share it with you. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell notification and hit all notifications. And you'll see all my videos as I upload them. And I try to upload as many as I can daily. Thanks for watching and have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world.